Hare Krishna. Hope you all can hear me.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. There is an echo, so you can try once again. We can hear you, but there is an echo. Yeah. Now it is clear. Yes.
Hare Krishna, devotees. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can you all hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Now it is clear.
So the time is 7:58. So the time is 7:58. Another 1 minute, and then exactly we'll start. Where's light show? No. 1 minute. Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale स्वयं रूपकदामयं ददान्ते स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपादकमलं श्रीगुरान् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथवीतं त्वं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललितान् श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुपैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा। I welcome you all for this wonderful evening, Friday evening, for the most confidential knowledge you have ever heard or you're going to hear now from Bhagavad Gita as it is. It's been a very auspicious day, and today, and this is also an Adhik Masa which is going on, the extra month in the calendar. This is supposed to be a very auspicious month. So in this auspicious month, on the week of Friday, we are hearing Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. This chapter self states that this is a very, very confidential knowledge that Krishna is imparting to Arjuna. So, this being a very, very confidential knowledge, all the people who are coming to the Zoom now, logged into the Zoom and listening to this particular seminar on the chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita, you are all very fortunate to hear this. So I'll start today class by just running an overview of what happened yesterday, which was presented by Vinodavani Devidasi, that's my wife. Very nice, beautifully presented. So actually, Arjuna asked Krishna few questions. He asked 8 precise questions, of which immediately Krishna replies and gives the answer. The last question, Arjuna, very intelligent Arjuna. So he is asking the last question, how can I attain spiritual world, spiritual destination, liberation, moksha at the time of death? Beautiful question. To which Krishna very elaborately explains in chapter 8. You see, very nice answer. How a person attains supreme. So there are different people living body at different time. Some people leave the body at day, some people at night, some people during very auspicious period, some people during Ekadasi. So in this way, different people leave their body in different type. Krishna is also saying, he is giving in depth and detail how and where the person will attain after the death. Dukkhalam ashashvatam, because this is a temporary world full of miseries, and there is no happiness in this world. The people are looking to get out of this world. No one wants to be in the prison, right? No thief wants to be in the prison for a long time. If at all he is enjoying the prison food, that means there's something wrong with him. Everyone, whoever the inmates there in the prison house, they want to go out of the prison. The same way, this is Dukkalayam, this is a prison house. This material world comprising of Brahmanda is a prison house. We don't want to stay here. We are all the prisoners who are coming. We don't want to stay here for long. We want to just get away, get out of this place, hellish place. Because every day there is a problem. Every day there is a dukkha. Every day there is a misery. Every day there is an unhappiness. No one is happy in this world. So we want to be permanently happy. So Arjuna is asking Krishna a very beautiful question, and Krishna replies. Say, for example, you go to a movie, a PVR movie or whatever. So when you go to the movie, a new movie has been released, so you want to watch that movie. So when you are standing in the queue to get the ticket, you meet a friend coming out of the movie theater, watching this movie show earlier. So he asks you, how come you're there? So you are telling him that I'm going to see this movie. So he says, yeah, this is a very nice movie, beautiful movie. You have to watch this. This is so nice. And it's so thrilling. You know, at the end, what happens? Immediately, this person will say, no, I don't want to listen to the end of it, because I want to personally witness what is going to happen in the end. So let it be a suspense. I'm going to see the movie, experience it, and then at the end, I know what it is. I'll come to know what it is. So please don't say what it is. Please don't say the end now itself before I enter the movie hall. This is exactly how the materialistic people think about this world. Let me enjoy. Let me do all nonsense. Let me not surrender to the Lord. Let me not chant. Let me not have Guru. I will do whatever I want. Who has seen death? No one has seen death. Okay. So there is no one who has seen their death and then come back and told you how the death is. So why we have to worry? Let's enjoy this life. We will see what will happen in the end. The same typical mood of a moviegoer. So Krishna and Arjuna is a very intelligent person. So he's asking this question: how can I attain Supreme Lord, supreme destination at the time of death? So intelligent person wants to know everything. He wants to know, and if there is a problem, he wants to correct it now itself. So this is exactly what we need to do at this time of our. So we have to also understand what death is all about. We not have to be worried about that, because whoever has taken birth, he has to die, and who's been dead has to come back again. Shankaracharya very nicely says. So we not have to worry about or contemplate. Oh, I know about death. Oh, I wish. How I want to experience. No one going to say that like that. So it's quite natural. As we are shedding our body from boyhood to youth to old age, we don't know what our youth was, or we don't know what our childhood was. Where is that body gone? We don't know, right? The same way, at the time of death, you will not, even after the time of death, you will not repent for the body that has been, left over. So very nicely, Krishna explains about this process to Arjuna, and it was explained by Vinodavani Devidasi yesterday in chapter 8. And to overcome that, Krishna is saying, you have to understand about how to overcome the death. For that, you have to know this confidential knowledge. See, now the continuation, chapter 9. Om Ganatimiranjana Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishna Chinte Chaitara Swami Tinamini Namo Charapadana Tigrupapadana Gauragadamana Ramadane Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishna Vrutale Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachani Nirvishesha Shunyamadi Pashata Deshatarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Bhatagavara Shivasada Gaura Bhaktanda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare Krishna. I welcome you all once again. So we're going to start chapter 9. Slide, please. Next slide. This is the overview, what I told about chapter 8. In chapter 9, Krishna reveals how to become a pure devotee. How to become a pure devotee. It is very simple, and it's this is a very the topmost secret of all the knowledge. How to become a devotee, and it is very simple. It's not a nuclear science. Very simple, and you can understand, and we can implement it. So simple it is. Next slide, please. 1 and 2, that is the sloka in this chapter 9, 1 and 2 glorify the content of this chapter. It says, faithless person have to return to this path of birth and death. In text 3, it says. So a person who's not faithful, who doesn't show his respect to Krishna, who doesn't understand Krishna, he has to take birth again in this material world. So Krishna is emphasizing this. As you all know, I repeatedly keep telling it. In Bhagavad Gita is written by Veda Vyasa. Actually, Veda Vyasa requested Ganesha, Lord Ganesha, to be secretary and take the dictation of it. Before writing it, there was a request by Veda Vyasa that he has to understand properly and then only ink it. So this has been understood by Ganesha in this way. So this is a very sacred scripture which is available to us. Every sloka, every word in that is been understood by Ganesha in that way. Bhagavad Gita as it is. So 4 to 10 explains his opulence, so that a non-envious person can fix his devotion on Krishna. Even, like Britannia 50-50, Some people are not that conversant with Krishna, they don't have that knowledge of Krishna, so they don't want to surrender. Of course, they want to do all the required austerities and then know about Krishna. But when it comes to the surrender to Krishna, they are 50-50. They don't take that, they are not totally fully involved in surrendering to Krishna. So for them who have a doubt about Krishna, Krishna very nicely explains his opulence and he attracts them. So it has been explained in 4 to 10. Also, how Krishna is related to this material world. Everything is created by Krishna, but at the same time, Krishna is not present in this material world. How it is, that's been explained from 1 to 10. So, to summary the whole thing about Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, now itself, it says about devotional service, which is most confidential knowledge. So we're talking about Guhya Guhyataram Nanya. So this particular information, which is very, very, very secretive and very confidential, this has been enclosed in this particular chapter. I told you 1 to 6 is Karma Yoga. Chapter 1 to 6 is Karma Yoga. 7 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga. 13 to 18 is Gnana Yoga. So this is sandwich. And in that sandwich, this is the middle part. Out of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7, 8, 9. The center part is this. So this is the middle of the middle. So this is King of all knowledge. It is called King. This particular shloka, this particular chapter is the King of all knowledge. So I got an opportunity to tell you about this particular secret about Bhagavad Gita. It is called King, K-I-N-G. K stands for knowledge, one thing that you learn. Knowledge is what you get in this chapter. And I stands for inconceivable relationship with the Supreme Lord Paramatma, the Parama Purusha, Krishna, and then this material world. That is 2. The third one is K-I-N. N stands for non-worship. The people who are faithless on Krishna, Krishna is going to tell how they are going to be and what is going to happen to them. And the fourth one, K-I-N-G. G is glorious of bhakti. If you do bhakti, how are you going to experience how glorious it is to do bhakti? It's been mentioned in this chapter. So this is very confidential. This is the King of knowledge, K-I-N-G. The 4 things that you need to understand: knowledge, inconceivable relationship, non-worship, and then the 4th one is glorious. Glories of Bhakti Yoga. These are 4 things that you learn. Next slide, please. So this practical science consists of 9 folds of activities, which I'm going to play a video at the end of this seminar, of today's seminar, so you can really understand what is this 9-fold activities that we are talking about. Can be understood by a non-envious person only. If you are envious to Krishna, you will not be able to understand this particular knowledge. So very clearly it's been mentioned. To hear knowledge of Krishna from realized devotees. Only through devotees and to the disciplic succession, Bhagavad Gita chapter 9.2, Evam Parampara Patir Ima Rajarshi Vido. Only through them, with this chain of disciplic succession, will be able to hear, you will be able to understand what Krishna is. Because today, you may not like me, or you may not like X or Y, whoever is there in ISKCON, because he might be telling you to follow certain things. Like, for example, following Ekadasi. Ekadasi is a must. You cannot avoid it. Being born as a human being, you have to do Ekadasi. And it is very strict standards in ISKCON too, that you have to observe Ekadasi. So if I tell, oh, my friend, you cannot do Ekadasi. So there is certain things that you can do. You can eat as much as you want, whatever type of things you want, you can eat. But you have to be a Krishna conscious person. That means I'm telling lies. I'm not in this disciplic succession. The moment I deviate myself just to accommodate someone is not the right thing. Wherever you go in the Vaishnava Parampara, they tell you about Ekadasi and then the glories of Ekadasi, what you need to do in the Ekadasi. So just to accommodate someone who doesn't want to do Ekadasi but still want to accommodate, it's not ISKCON. So from the disciplic succession it has to come. Because until or unless we surrender to Krishna, how fun it is to observe Ekadasi, you will not know. Because you are not surrendered, you will not be able to carry out this Ekadasi task. So it has to come from the realized devotee. The devotees will tell you how and where and how we can do the devotional service to the Lord. Very important. So it has to come from the disciplic succession and from a realized devotee. Krishna sees sincerity and blessings with understanding. Okay, first time it is very difficult to do Ekadasi. Okay, Krishna sees the sincerity. Oh, okay, I know that you are not able to carry out Ekadasi. No problem. One Ekadasi, 1 year, no problem. 2 years, no problem. He sees the sincerity. How you are doing. And then he will give you a choice. He is the Paramatma sitting in your heart. He will guide you. You need not worry. And the devotees will take care of it. So once Krishna sees that little bit of sincerity, you are there, you are trying to understand more about Krishna, definitely you will be able to overcome all the obstacles and then get into the path of bhakti. Next slide, please. That has been explained in 9.3. So we're coming to 9.1, where Krishna says, very beautiful it is. We heard this particular sloka. I'll just read. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam tu te guhyatamam pravaksham anusuyave gnanam vignana sahitam yagnatva mokshase shubham. My dear Arjuna, Krishna is telling this to Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge. Guhyatamam. Guhyatamam means secret. Confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be revealed of all miseries of material existence. So in material existence, what are the problems that we are facing? We are facing a lot of problems. Hercules problems. So all this can be mitigated. All this can be squared off. Whatever the material problems that we have, Krishna is telling this to Arjuna. Whatever material problem you have, everything I will arise it off. You don't have to worry. And in the second sloka he is saying, Raja Vidyam Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyaksham Avagamam Dharmya Susukam Kartum Avyayam. Rajavidyam Rajaguhyam. As I told you, this is the king of all knowledge, king of all education. This is the king of all education. This sloka, what we are understanding now. The most secret of all secrets. It is a secret of all secrets. It's not me who is saying, it's Krishna himself is saying in this sloka. It is the purest knowledge. He's saying this knowledge is the purest. And because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it gives you, the moment you start doing this bhakti yoga, directly you will perceive, you're going to feel the realization immediately. It's not after effect after 1 year, of 2 years. No, immediately you're going to feel the happiness after doing this bhakti yoga. It is the perfection of religion. Krishna is saying, among all the things that we do, we might be doing homa, we might be doing puja, we might be doing several other things. Of this is the perfection of everything, of religion. It is everlasting. So this is not 1 day, 2 days, you get bored. No. You do every day, throughout life. Still, you'll be enjoying it. So this is everlasting, and it is joyfully performed. It is very joyfully performed. How we pop rasgulla or gulab jamun, the same way, the happiness and then the sweetness that you get while eating, the same thing you get while doing devotional service. Krishna is guaranteeing this in Bhagavad Gita 9:2. So that's what he's saying, because it is the essence of all Vedic knowledge, perfection of religion, based on realization, dependence on high birth of extensive knowledge, joyfully performed at every stage. So you will feel happy. You will feel happy in doing this. So next slide, please. So in the next sloka, Krishna very beautifully says, Ashraddhana Purusha Dharmasyasya Parantapa Aprapya Mam Nivartante Nritya Samsara Vartmane. Those who are not faithful in devotional service, see, he is coming here for non-faithful. So you should have that faith. One should have faith. Very important. Complete conviction that devotional service can give you all perfection. Because as I told, what Krishna has said, from all material pranks, everything is removed. Whatever the hankering that we have in the material life, everything is removed just by doing this devotional service. So he's saying complete conviction has to be there for a person. He cannot do it half-heartedly. No one can do anything for that matter half-heartedly. For any work that you do, you have to have a dedication. You have to be completely convinced first. You have to have a knowledge second. And third, you should practice. So if you don't practice, if you have these two, it's waste. So everything comes from faith. Faith is the mother of invention. So unless you have faith, you cannot proceed anywhere. Most important to progress in spiritual consciousness is the faith. Development of faith, the process of Krishna consciousness. So even this faith, if you have 50 or 40 or 60%, still you can come down to close to 100 or even touch 100%. That is through the process of Krishna consciousness. Difficult path for those without faith. For a person who doesn't have faith, it's very difficult. Even to do Ekadasi, they say, why Ekadasi is coming so often? Sundays, 2 Sundays fly in between. But they say Sundays are slower, but Ekadasi come very fast. So that is because they don't have faith. Difficult path for those without faith.
Hare
So
Krishna,
those
Prabhu.
people, Hare Krishna, we continue.
Yeah, actually, we will log out now within 1.5 minutes. So I request everyone to please log in. Okay. Yeah, that is the only thing. Yes,
Okay.
Yes, Prabhu, you can continue.
This is 40 minutes session, so it's going to end. So again, please, I request you all to log in so that we have continuity of that. So it is very difficult path for those without faith, because they will have to again take birth in this dangerous world. With the corona-filled world, it's very difficult to again come back. So, I think now we are closing. Next slide, please. So 9.4, 5 and 6, Krishna talks about his energy, talks about his creation, how he is creating this, and how everything is resting on him. So last 2 days back, I was telling you about Krishna's energy, how it is residing. Like if you take a pearl string, so the pearls, usually they're detached there, here and there. But when you bring it close, you have to have a thread in between. So that thread is Krishna himself. So this Earth and then all the other planets which is moving around in our galaxy, in our universe, they have some extraordinary arrangements done by Krishna so that they don't collide or they don't come too close. So with Krishna's energy, everything is moving. The moving part and the non-moving part has been created by Krishna and it's been maintained by Krishna. So that is one of the creator's energy. And example here is given is the wind in the sky. I will tell you about that later. But he is still aloof and person. He is not connected to this creation. He is even though he has created. Okay, a mother has given birth to a child. There is a relation between child and mother. The relation is there within Krishna and us. But mother and child, there is always affection. There is always a direct connection. With Krishna also, we have a direct connection. But Krishna at the same time, even though he has created the whole thing, he is away from all these things. He is detached. So that is one of the opulence of Krishna, detachment. So with the normal, with our gross senses, we will not be able to understand or perceive Krishna. So that is one of the things. Can see him with and without through devotional service. Only through devotional service you can understand Krishna. Hare Krishna. I think we're cutting off now.
I think so. Yes. So we will log in again, Prabhuji. Yes.
Okay. So Krishna here, he's saying about the clinical process of material creation and annihilation. So he's saying about Brahma's lifetime. Oh, then I'm audible. Yes. And next slide, please. Yeah. So Brahma's lifetime is something like one day of Brahma is 311 trillion years. That consists of 4 yuga, as you can see in this slide. So it's mentioned about yuga, the 4 yugas, the duration of the 4 yugas total put together, and that is Brahma's one day. So in the same equally is Brahma's night. So 12 hours of Brahma is 311 trillion years. So that is too much, and that again is 311 trillion years is his night. So during his one day of lifespan, Krishna comes once. So one full day of Brahma, Krishna comes only once. And we are so lucky that Krishna came just in this Kali Yuga, in this Yuga, in this Manvantara, where it is just 5,000 years back in Dwapara Yuga, Krishna appeared. So after Krishna left this world till now, it is just 5,000 years. So when 5,000 years when compared to 311 trillion years is absolutely nothing. It's just a spark. It's just a small, what I can say is it's a small element. In the same way, Brahma is going to stay for 100 years. So after 100 years, the whole world will be annihilated. So once it is annihilated, again there is a creation. So Krishna again recreates the whole thing. So that's what Krishna is mentioning in this slokas. Bhagavad Gita 9.7, 8, 9, and 10. He's saying how it is all these things is created and how I'm maintaining it, and how the people are being born, because of their karma. The people are being born today because of their karma. And sometimes, because of the association with the devotee, they get liberated. So for the main purpose of liberation, the human beings have taken birth and they have come here in this world. But without doing devotional service, the bhakti yoga, which is being described by Krishna, which we'll understand in the few slokas from now, is saying very simple. But if they are not able to do that simple task, then they have to again take birth again. If they have to again die and again take birth, so that they will come to understand this. Until they understand this particular science, they cannot migrate, they cannot go back, or they cannot get liberated. That's what Krishna is saying very emphatically here in sloka 10. Maya dakshena pragate sute sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagat viparya vartate. This material nature means all that which is in the material, including Brahma's creation, and this Brahmanda that we talk about is in the material nature, which is one of my energies, is one of his energies. That means so many energies, so many things that he's got. Out of that, he's saying one of my energy is working under my direction. So all these things, what you see, is all working under its direction. You might be thinking, oh, I am great, I am doing it. It's only me. I'm earning bread to my family, and there is no one. I have to take care of my family. What happens if I take sannyas, or what happens if I leave the house? What happens if I become a saintly person? Who will take care of my family? What will happen to my children? No, this is not what Krishna is saying here. Krishna is saying here that everything is taken care under my direction. So under his direction and his supervision, and he is providing everything. If you are not there, don't worry, someone will provide. Or even the person whom you think it's not possible for him to carry out the activities, he will still do it. So maya dakshena prakati suyate sa characharam. So for both moving and non-moving, now you are worried about a moving, always they can fetch something. What about the stationed one, like tree, for example? Who's taking care of the trees? Trees are taken care by Krishna. You don't have to worry about all these things. So here, very beautiful picture on the right, you can see Vishnu lying down in a causal ocean, and through his spores, all the universe has been generated. On the next is again Krishna's margin, Krishna's energy, that is Devi, that is Parvati, Rudra, or Durgi, or Maya. She is taking care of the complete movements of your body. See, there are three people there. They are mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Traigunya Visha Veda, Naisrugunya Pavarjuna. These are the three mode of passion, ignorance, and goodness. They are actually controlling the person. You can see that invisible thread being tied to a person, and he is dancing. He's thinking that I am dancing, but actually he is not the one who is dancing. Someone else is making him dance. Those are the three gunas. So that is what Krishna is saying. Very secret and confidential knowledge. Okay, so this is what is being explained in chapter 9, text 10. Next slide, please. So from 11 to 19, you can see why foolish people deride Krishna. Why sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, when we tell Prabhu there is a Bhagavad Gita class, please come, they don't come. Even if they come, they say, oh, I've got some other appointment, I have to go, or some other reason. That's what Krishna is saying. Muda, they are foolish. They don't come at all to Krishna. So whatever endeavor or whatever the devotee might try his level best to bring a person to Krishna consciousness, but these foolish people will always say that, okay, I have got this problem, that problem, let that problem be solved, then I'll come. So the problem will never get solved, and they're never going to come to Krishna. So Krishna is saying, foolish people, why they don't come to Krishna? Very nicely it's been explained from 11 to 19. So even Hiranyakashipu, he was such a foolish person. Even though he was a great king, he was ruling many worlds. Not only this earth, he was also ruling heavenly planets. Satyaloka, even Brahmaloka, 7 planets, upper planetary system, 7 planetary system he was ruling. And also the 7 lower planetary system he was ruling. And the whole Brahma, the Brahmanda we call, has been under control of Hiranyakashipu. We are just thinking of controlling India or Karnataka or Bangalore or even our house for that matter. We are puppet. We cannot do anything. We cannot control. But Hiranyakashipu was controlling the whole thing. So how powerful he was. But he was a foolish person because he didn't surrender to Krishna. And within just a flick of a second, he was torn to pieces, ripped apart by Narasimhadev. So he was such a foolish person. At least if he had listened to his son, that is Prahlada, then he would have benefited. But he didn't do. He was ripped. He was killed by Krishna. So that's what is going to happen. They deride Krishna. They don't accept Krishna. They don't accept Vishnu. They don't accept Narasimha. So for them, the end is like that. So since Prahlada was a devotee, I will not get into that. So since Prahlada was a devotee, he actually asked for the benediction from Narasimhadev. He was so soft-hearted. He said, when Narasimhadev was pleased with Prahlada, Narasimhadev asked, come on, Prahlada, anything you want, you ask. So Prahlada said, I have seen you killing my father. My father is dead. But you have killed him because of his wrong deeds. He didn't surrender to you. He didn't do any of the Ekadasis. He didn't participate in any devotional service. He was always against you. He was always plotting. He is done. Please forgive. Please forgive my father so that at least he'll attain a good destination. This is the quality of a devotee. So a devotee always engages himself, and also he calls people with all this foolish mentality to come and participate in devotional service, take the blessings of Krishna, so that Krishna is so merciful, he'll grant him the visa to go to his world, that is getting liberation. So that is the pure devotee. And Krishna compares the pure devotees to 3 types of impersonalists. So devotee is something different. Okay, devotee is again, there are 3 types of people. One is first class, second class, and third class. The first class is a pure devotee doing devotional service to Krishna. Okay, second class devotee is the one who is convinced little bit and have little faith on Krishna. From time to time it varies. And what happens is because of the association devotees, he is somehow sticking on to act as a devotee, but still he is not a pure devotee. So he is a second class devotee. He has got little knowledge of Krishna, but he wants to improve. Okay, he wants to read more scriptures, understand Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, the pastimes of the Lord, and then he's got that what I can say is his willingness to progress in devotional service. So these are the second type of devotees. And there are the third class, we can say, they come to Krishna consciousness, they go to all the temples, they attend all the festivals, and at the same time they have a doubt whether Krishna is the supreme. What happens if I surrender to Krishna now and tomorrow I come to know that Krishna is not the supreme? Then I'm doomed. Then I have lost all my time in doing devotional service to Krishna. So they are in this doubt, and they have a very wrong notion about Krishna, and they participate in different activities. If there is some Sai Bhajan, they go there. If there is some other Homa, Yagna, they go and participate there. And other philosophies, they come to tell something, they go and participate there. So they say we have to keep our leg in all the places so that if one fails, at least something will click. That means they have no confidence. They have no devotion for Krishna. So for them, Krishna says, this path is very difficult. So for them, this death, life and death is a permanent thing. Like they always have to keep rotating. Once their materialistic things are being fulfilled, their needs being fulfilled, then they stop doing devotional activities. So they're the third class type of devotees that Krishna says. The three types of people to understand. And it is very, very difficult for those people to reach me. Krishna reveals his different energies, but still the distinction between matter and spirit, they're not able to understand. So these are the three type of people whom we come across, and it's been mentioned very detailedly in this verses from 11 to 19. Next slide, please. I want to show you a video also at the end. So it's a beautiful video. Krishna controlling creation. He's the one. He's the one who is created. So he knows how to control it also, and he knows how to maintain. And the end, he is the one who is annihilating it. So in Bhagavad, very nicely it's been mentioned how Krishna annihilates and how Krishna performs at that time. So there is a very nice description about a rishi, Markandeya rishi. Markandeya story probably you might have heard. He wanted to see Krishna's that particular energy, how he is destroying this, how he is annihilating. So we all know Sadashiva, who is again Krishna's expansion, is again a supreme lord. Sadashiva, he comes into the picture of annihilation. So Krishna is the one who is providing that particular facility for Shiva to annihilate. That means destroying this whole world. So there is water, there is air, there is fire, everything is there at the time of annihilation. Markandeya Rishi is the only one person who survives all these things, because he desired and he prayed Krishna that I wanted to see this of your opulence. So everyone has seen everything of Krishna, richness, beauty, his strength, everything everyone knows. But his annihilation ability, no one has seen. So Markandeya Rishi requests Krishna, I want to see this. So there Krishna displays, he is a Bhakta Vatsala. Krishna is called Bhakta Vatsala. So he shows his annihilation power to Markandeya Rishi. So everything is been annihilated, water is been washed, people have been drowned. So a lot of people losing their life, and Markandeya Rishi is swimming in this ocean, is swimming in this water, trying to find a piece of land. And finally he sees that there is a tree, banyan tree. So he tries to go there near to the banyan tree. Somehow he catches the root of that banyan tree. He starts climbing up the banyan tree, water coming, going up, and about to fill the top of the tree. On that leaf, he sees Krishna playing, and Krishna is taking his toe, he's pulled his leg and pulled a toe out, and then he was sucking this toe on his hand. He was sleeping on that banyan tree leaf, on that leaf. And this particular sight, Markandeya Rishi sees, and then he gets bewildered. What is this, Krishna? I've been seeing you doing this activity, and I'm seeing you floating here. How is this happened? So Krishna smiles at Markandeya Rishi, and then he says, don't worry, you come close to me. So as Markandeya Rishi goes very close to Krishna, Krishna sucks Markandeya Rishi in his ears. So he gets into one of the ears and he comes out. He's been thrown out again on the other ear. So in that, he sees, the moment he gets into Krishna, he sees the full universe. He sees the full world of Brahmanda. And again, he sees the ashram that where he was staying, and he sees himself there. What a miracle it is. And he is not able to conceive what he is seeing. So this is the power of Krishna, and Krishna can do anything. Even though he was a small boy, he could see inside his body what he showed to Arjuna. That is the universal form of Krishna. The same thing Markandeya Rishi sees, and then he takes his blessing, and then he comes out of it, because he says this particular annihilation is very difficult, and it is very bad. And so he says, he writes down so that in the future, Veda Vyasa knows about this annihilation, how this annihilation takes place, and Veda Vyasa from Markandeya Rishi comes to know how Krishna's controlling everything, including annihilation. So this is about Krishna's creation, annihilation, and maintenance. Maintenance is what he's doing now. We are all here. We are now. He's maintaining us without any problem. Every day sun is up and evening moon is up. So again, evening sun goes down. Everything mechanically happening. Nothing, no change. So 50 years, I've been 52 years now. So in 52 years, I have not seen one day sun not coming out or sun saying, no, I will not, I'll take a casual leave. No, never it has happened in my lifetime. So it is the same thing. So for so many trillion years, trillion thousands of years, sun is coming and going, and it's all been controlled by Krishna. And water, rain is coming, water is there, and we are able to get food. Everything is happening normally because Krishna is the one who is maintaining everything. So that's very beautifully been explained in 9:11. And that Krishna's body is again transcendental body. So you cannot think like, it's a normal body. No, it's the wrong thing. And Krishna is the proprietor of everything. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karana. Next slide. Foolish people cannot conceive of this. That's what he's saying. Foolish people will not know anything about this. Wonder how a human like form can control both the finite and infinite. How Krishna can control all these things. It's very difficult to understand. Very beautifully, there is a picture. The person is drowning, and only Krishna can save. We are also drowning in this material world. And once we surrender to Krishna, then Krishna will immediately take us out of this material world. Otherwise, we have to keep suffering in this world. Next slide, please. So, and in 12 and 13 says about the future of those who derive Krishna. So, the future of people who don't accept Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead, for them, what it is, in the picture you can see on the right, how a person is leaving his body. He is again been taken birth, and again there are 84 lakh species of varieties of life. So depending on your karma, whether you take a hog body or an animal body or a tree body, whatever it is, based on your karma, you get that body. And if you are lucky, you get a human body. That is, you've been born as a baby, and then again you grow, and then you dwindle, and then again you lose your body, and again you take another body. So this is the regular thing which is happening. And if you are lucky, then a devotee will call you, and by the mercy of the devotee only, you will turn as a Mahatma. So what is Mahatma? Mahatma is the one pure devotee, fixed in devotion to Krishna, is called Mahatma. So that has been very nicely explained in 12 and 13. We'll go to the next slide because of lack of time, and I don't need to show you a video. I have to rush through this because the people who come for the first time and who are attending this seminar need to understand that we are conducting what is called Bhagavad Gita study classes. So in the study class, we tell you in detail about each sloka and what its contents, and we discuss. So, and discussion, you can raise all the questions and all the doubts, and everything will be clear. So this activity is happening in Bangalore in different places. So if you register yourself, then we can help you out and place you in one of those cells where the number of people will be not more than 10. So you can have one-to-one discussion with the so-called the teacher, and you can understand more about Bhagavad Gita. So activities of the pure devotee. So we want to know what are the activities that a devotee does. So he's saying, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavataha navasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. What is, now we're talking about devotees. What are the things that devotee does? So devotee means probably 1000 years sitting and doing penance, or controlling air through his nostrils, or being an ascetic going to Himalayas. What is the devotee? So devotees, no, previous slide please. Activities of the pure devotees. Always glorify Krishna. And then they chant, say, following rules and regulations, such as chanting, offering food to the Lord, fasting for Ekadasis, and doing devotional service. Anyone in any position and in any part of the world can become such a Mahatma or a pure devotee. There is no fast rule and regulation that one has to be like this, one has to go like this. No. So that is what it has been mentioned. And next, we need to understand there are three types of people again: monist, even devatas, and one who worships the universal form of the Lord. So there are three types of people who are called devotees. One is Ektavena, and then second is Prithakvena, and third one is Vishwatomukam. So this has been explained in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 15. Krishna says, Gnana yagnena chapanye ejanto mam upasate ekatvena pratakvena buddhaha vishwato mukaha. Others who engage in sacrifice by cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as one with the second, as devised in many and in the universal form. But it is I who is the ritual. Even if they are doing sacrifices, Krishna is saying, I am the sacrifice, the offering of the ancestors. So whatever that we are offering to the ancestors, Krishna is saying that is I. The healer of herb. If you take any medicine, that we call Vaidyo Narayano Hari, we say, right? So he's saying that healing is Krishna. The transcendental chant that we are chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna is saying, it is me that you are chanting. And I am the butter and the fire and the offering. So in the offering, in the sacrifice, Krishna is saying all these things is me. I am the father and the universe. I'm the father of the universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om in Omkara. So Pranava, that is what Krishna is saying, that he is the one. Pitama yasa jagato, mata tata pitamha, vedaham pavitram Omkara, rig sama ejar vevacha. So now Krishna slowly telling what he is. Okay. So monist, I think it's already been explained. Even the demigods, Deva and Devatas also been explained. So there is no need. And here, the people worship Krishna's universal form as the Lord. There are devotees who worship Krishna as soul of everything. So they cannot see beyond anything of this. So for them, whatever activities that they're doing, it's for the Krishna. So from here, they become, from this third category, they become bhaktas. So this is the first prerequisite, that he has to understand that Krishna is the universal, that he is the creator, destroyer, and annihilator, maintainer, everything. After understanding this, then we'll see what happens. Text 16. That's next slide, please. Aham kratur aham yajna. So here he's saying, Krishna is saying, I'm the sacrifice yajna. I am the ritual. He's the butter, which I told you, the milk products. He's the herb, a healer, and his chanting of all the Gayatri and all the mantras. Krishna is saying that is me only, and doing devotional service. All this, Krishna is saying, devotional service includes the results of all these things. Whatever activity that we are doing above, what has been done by the devotees above, is saying the result of that is the devotional service. Devotional includes the results. So whatever devotional service that we do, the results of doing yajna, homa, and all those things is already there in this devotional service. So devotional service, we'll try to understand what is this devotional service. He's saying, I'm the father, mother. Next slide. Next slide, please. So here he's saying about mother, father, that I am the Omkara. And in the next slide, in 18, everything rests on Krishna energy. So that also we discussed. Sustainer, master, refuge. The ultimate goal of life is to reach Krishna. So that should be our thing. Krishna is eternal. cause of all causes. He is the cause of all causes. And as I told, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the one who gives heat, light, and he checks rain and gives rain, and he sustains life. Everything is done by Krishna. And Krishna is also personified death. Next slide. Krishna is also personified death. That means Yamaraja that we call, out of these 12 Mahajanas, Yama is also one. Who are these Mahajanas? Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 3, Text 25, it says, who are the Mahajanas? That is Shambhu, and then Suta Goswami, Sanatana Suta Goswami, Bali Maharaja, Prahalada, Janaka, Yamaraja, Narada, Kapila. All these are Mahajanas. Yama is also one. So he's saying, Krishna is saying that Krishna is the death personified. He's the Yamaraja. So Krishna himself is Yamaraja. So if Krishna at the time of death, if you think of Krishna, Krishna will come and he will take us. If we're not the devotees of Krishna, the Yamaraja will come. That is again Krishna himself, and he knows what has to be done to you. So he will take care of that particular soul there. Krishna is both matter and spirit. He is both matter and spirit. So from text 20 to 26, Krishna says, demigods worship, how it has to be done. And which neglects Krishna as a supreme enjoyer is improper and cause for fall down. So we have to do, even though we have to, in case if we have to do demigod worship, so we have to have an understanding that these demigods are the agents of Krishna and they're carrying out the activities for Krishna. So this understanding we should have. So with that understanding, when we do devotional service or we try to serve other demigods, then it is okay. Krishna will accept it. But if you think that, okay, their demigods is also the Supreme Lord, then our understanding is wrong, and then Krishna will not like it. Just like, in this material world, we have elected, right? All the citizens, we know what the government is. Even though government is not visible, but we know what government is, what are the rules government has said, how you have to pay tax, all these things we know. But elected representative like MLA, MP, he goes to Delhi, he sits in the parliament, he knows what the Prime Minister is saying. They can see Prime Minister face to face. Okay, they can listen to his orders and execute it. But there is a third person also. Prime Minister, he's got his own children, he's got his wife, he's got his own friends, he's got his own relatives. So those people, what they do, they come, they go to his house, Prime Minister's house, and then they know what Prime Minister is doing. And the Prime Minister there, okay, removes his jacket or whatever it's called, bulletproof coat, and then he's there with his net banyan or his banyan, and he's roaming around, and he's sometimes playing with his children, grandchildren. So this is a very confidential thing which happens, and which other people don't know about it. Or even if they know, they're not exposed, or they're not allowed to mingle with Krishna, with his intense, immense, close friends. But the same people, they can see him in parliament, and the same, his words have been carried out as in the government. So three ways, that is Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaneti Shabdaye. Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahmajyoti. These are three aspects of Krishna. So all these three aspects, Krishna very nicely explains here. He coming to the conclusion of this chapter. Worship of Devatas ultimately worship Krishna, but they're doing it in a wrong way. Avidhi Purvakam. Krishna says that you're doing it in a wrong way. So what is the right way that Krishna says? So you have to worship me, Krishna is saying. So how do you worship Krishna? So next slide, please. So if you just get on to higher planetary systems, it's of no use. So it's like a paid holiday by a company that you're working. So when you go on a holiday, all the amount is being spent by the company, and so many number of days you enjoy there. After that holiday, what happens? You come back again to work and you have to slog. the same thing. Even though you do a lot of good karma, you have just been promoted to higher planetary system. You go to Swargaloka, you just enjoy there. After finishing your karma, again you have to come back down to this material world. And in this world, only material world, you have to understand, worship, and then you can go out of this material world or get liberation from this material world only. So fall down to material existence. Next slide, please. The position of the pure devotee is always worship Krishna with exclusive devotion, meditating on his transcendental form. So they always meditate on his transcendental form, completely determined to achieve Krishna. Krishna carries what they lack and preserve what they have. So this is a very beautiful sloka, very nice sloka. So what it says, Ananya Sintayanto Mam, Ejana Paripasate, Tesham Nityabhyuktanam, Yogakshemam Vahamhyam. He's saying, those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So Krishna specifically takes care of them. And this is the pastime of Arjunacharya, a great devotee of Krishna. What he did was, he was a Brahmana. The Brahmana's only occupation was teaching. So he was teaching Bhagavad Gita to his students. And it so happened, he came across this Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, text 22 sloka, Ananya Sintai Toma. So he was reading this sloka, and then the last word, it says, Tesha Nityaviyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyam. He's saying, Yogakshemam Vahamyam. Krishna takes care of his devotee. But here he's saying, I don't have food today. So how is Krishna going to take care? I don't have anything to eat. So this is a wrong statement that Krishna is making. So by mistake, Ganesha has written this. So let me just strike it off. So he strikes this off. And then he says, no, this is not possible. Krishna cannot say, because I've been starving. There's no food. And no, Krishna has not taken care of me so far. So he closes his book, says, okay, now let me go and beg. So let me go. And then, so he goes to the street, and then he comes back. Before he comes back, there are two boys, beautifully dressed boys. They come to his house, Arjunacharya, and tells his wife, see, your husband is a very peculiar person. He told us to carry all this thing for you. So he got almost a year's ration with a lot of vegetables, fruits. He filled his kitchen. And then he said, these two boys were saying, your husband is ruthless. You know, even though we are his disciples, he made all these things to be carried by us. Even though we said, no, we are very small, we cannot carry, but still he made us to carry. And on top of that, what he did is, since we are a little slow, he even bet us. So he showed at the back that, you know, he had actually beaten these two boys with a stick. So there was a mark there, red mark, which was there on Krishna, that these two boys are none other than Krishna and Arjuna. He showed them, see, this is what he has done. And this lady, she was so unhappy that, and she was also wondering why her husband will do this activity, because never he has done any harm to any of his students, but why suddenly today? So let him come, let me just cross-check what had happened. In the meantime, she requests these two boys to please sit down with all the ration that you bought. Let me prepare some sweet rice for you. So he made them sit. She went inside. She was preparing. At that time, Arjunacharya, he comes, gets into the house. And then, he, to his surprise, from outside itself, he was able to get the smell of, the sweet rice being prepared. So immediately he goes and asks his wife, what happened? How did you get all this ration? Then she says, oh, don't pretend as though you don't know. You have already sent this with these two small boys, and on top of that, you made them to carry this weight, and you also beaten them very badly. Then he understands what this beating is all about. Then he sees the groceries, he sees all the opulence that is there in his house. He immediately rushes back to his book where he has written, in the Bhagavad Gita, where he has written, where he scratched off these two, the word, Yogakshema Mahamyam. And then he realizes, no, I'm wrong actually. So he opens it and then he wants to erase it. Before he could erase, it's already been erased by Krishna. So Krishna is so merciful. He protects his devotees at any cost. So next slide, please. Now I know that we have another 3 minutes. We'll try to finish off. And the destination of different worshippers. So where are they going to go? Different worshippers. So Devatas, the worshippers of demigods, they go to the place of Devatas. And the ancestors, they go to ancestors, the ghosts and spirits, they go to that particular place. And the people who worship Krishna, they live with Krishna. So very nice. Krishna accepts even Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prachati. Now he's coming to the conclusion what a Bhakta is all about. The Bhakta is the one who gives, next slide, he gives little water, leaf, fruit or flower to Krishna without anything holding back. So he gives everything to Krishna to exchange with love. With love he gives to Krishna. So in that way, Krishna accepts the simplicity in the worship that the devotee does. So next slide, please. So next slide, please. So from 27 to 34. So Hare Krishna, welcome back. Sorry, last another 5 minutes, I'm going to wind up. So Krishna advises doing all our activities as an offering to him. That is the bhakti all about. Whatever we do, we have to offer it to Krishna. So Krishna says in the last loka, next slide, please. As an offering to Krishna, we have to do all these activities like working, eating, offering, charity, austerities, all these things we have to do to Krishna. Then Yukta Vairyaga, giving fruits of our work to Krishna. So whatever the activities, the fruit that we get will be offered to Krishna, which purifies our sinful reaction. So if you do this, then all the sinful reaction that we have contracted with our day-to-day activities will be purified. And finally, we get liberation. And before liberation, we surrender to the Supreme Krishna and we get liberated. The Lord is like a desire tree, providing everyone generously. So Krishna provides everything to us generously. He doesn't hold back anything. He gives everything to us. So Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu Name Desho Astina Priya Ye Bhajanti To Mam Bhaktya Mai Tu Chesa Chapyamaham. I envy no one. Krishna is saying, I don't envy anyone, nor I'm partial to anyone. I'm equal to all. And whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend and is in me, and I'm also a friend to him. Next slide, please. So Krishna here he's next. Yeah, next. Yeah, material. We are balancing material and spiritual activities. Balancing material and spiritual activities is what we need to do. So when we do that, accident will fall down. If at all, if there is, because of our past habit, still Krishna is so merciful. He'll protect us. He will again try to purify us, and then we will become a devotee, and Krishna will recognize and he will promote us. Say once we have fallen down, Krishna doesn't allow us to remain there. He actually pulls us back and he lifts us from that particular condition. Next slide, please. Anyone who takes shelter of Krishna can get highest perfection. So that is guaranteed. No distinction between higher and lower caste or classes, which I told you. And engage oneself in always thinking of Krishna, become his devotees. This 9 form of devotional service, which I'm going to play now, offers obeisances to him. This is what the devotional service is all about. Nothing. Devotional service is very simple. It's saying about Man Manaba Madbhakto, Mam Yuji Mam Namaskurum, Mam evasaisi yuktaivam atmanam matparayanaha. So Krishna is saying, Manmana bhava madbhakto. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. What a devotee, what a devotional service is always is engage oneself in thinking about me. He's saying, think about Krishna. Become a devotee by offering obeisances. Pray, pranams to Krishna and worship me. Krishna is saying you have to worship me. If you do these four things, being completely absorbed in me, surely you'll come to me. This is the conclusion, and this is the devotional service. What we are saying. That is man manabhava matbhakto. Engage your mind in always in thinking of you, Krishna. Become his devotee. You become Krishna's devotee. Pay namaskaram, obeisances to Krishna. 3. And he's saying, worship me. These are the 4 prerequisites that require to become a devotee. Once you become a devotee, then Krishna is saying, surely you will come to me. So he's saying, Mama evesa yuktaivam atmanam matparayanaha. You will come back to me without doubt. So there are instances of Jagai and Madai during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. They are known very notorious criminals, I can say, Jagai and Madai. So they were actually causing lot of harm to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in fact, once so happened, Jagai Madai, they threw a stone, a pot, broken piece of pot on Nityananda's head, and he got injured. The blood started coming out. Immediately, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rushed to rescue of Nityananda. He displayed his Vishwarupa. He showed a Vishnu form where he's carrying Sudarshana Chakra. He wanted to leave the Sudarshana Chakra, kill Jagai and Madai instantly. But Nityananda Prabhu requested, please forgive them. They are in this world, in this material world, in this Kali Yuga, everyone are Jagai and Madai. Everyone are wicked, they are very cruel, and they are very selfish motto. So if you are killing Jagai and Madai, you have to kill everyone in this Kali Yuga, which is not possible. That's why, and it's not recommended also. So I advise you, take it back, and instead of that, show them your costless mercy so that they can become a devotee. And after Jagai and Madai seeing this particular episode where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whom they were hating, actually showing a Vishwarupa Darshana and having seen the Sudarshana Chakra, they were very much afraid and surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They became a great devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And later on, they were able to go back. They were able to get liberated. So, even to the worst of worst people, Krishna gives them a special mercy so that they can become the devotee of Krishna. So, this was the thing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated to Nityananda Prabhu, that his mercy, with his mercy, how Jagai and Madai become a great devotee of the Lord. And just by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, you could enter into the kingdom of Godhead. Next slide, please. The last slide. The pastime of Jagai and Madai. So in Bhagavad Gita, in this particular chapter, the Krishna says, it is a very confidential thing, how we can become a devotee. This has been explained. So now please play a video, please. This is just a 3-4 minute video. What are the devotional service one should carry out? It's been mentioned. What are the devotional service that we should follow? What are the devotional service aspects that we need to do? And how we can get back to Krishna Loka? It's been explained very nicely here. What audio, please? Prabhu, we're not getting your audio. Audio is out. Prabhu, you have to do extra settings to get the audio. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Then I think you share this audio because it's already time up. You share this audio for all the people, who have come. Just post them if they are there in the group, English group.
Okay, Prabhu.
Because now you're trying, it will be delayed. Okay. So Hare Krishna devotees, thank you all for your wonderful presence in the Zoom. And this video, what we're going to be played, will be sent to you. So you can view it on your mobile. Okay. If you are in a WhatsApp group, we will forward it to you, so you can have a look at it. Because of lack of time, I don't want Karthik Prabhu to experiment again on the audio part. So let's leave it here. I thank you all. So the conclusion is what Krishna says in this Bhakti Yoga is always remember Krishna and never forget him. Remember Krishna, never forget him, so that we can go back home, back to Godhead without any problem. Only two things. We have to know Krishna, remember Krishna at all time, and engage Krishna's and we ourselves have to engage in Krishna's service and never forget him. So very beautifully Krishna explains about this in chapter 9 and concludes saying that this is the secret of all the things, and very simple, and it doesn't require any great things like sitting in a place for thousands of years or doing homa yagna, no, nothing. Just do devotional art service. Manmana bhava madbhakto mamyujim manamaskuru. That is the conclusion of this particular chapter's last sloka. Manmana bhava madbhakto mamyujim mam namaskuru mamyujim mat parayana. Krishna says mat parayana. Do it to me, he's saying Krishna. So once we do to Krishna, then we are assured of our liberation. We'll go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, Hare Om Tat Sat. Any questions you have, you can ask, or otherwise we'll conclude here only. Thank you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. There is one question. What is the meaning of Mahajans and why they are called so? So you can explain in 2-3 words, 2-3 sentences.
Mahajan.
Yes.
Okay. See, Mahajans are actually in Srimad Bhagavatam. There are 12 Mahajanas, which I have explained to you. They are all the devotees of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they have every day's activity. Whenever they're doing any activity, they're thinking about Krishna, what Krishna has said in this Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, text 34, the last sloka. In all their activities, they dedicate it to Krishna. Whether they be a sage, whether they be Yamaraja, whether it be Narada always taking the name of Narayana, and doing all devotional service. So they are the benchmark, and they are the person whom we need to imitate in this world. In Bhagavatam it is said, if at all we are to follow any personality, it's not father of the nation or whatever it is, it's not them that we have to follow. Or we have nowadays the movie stars, the people imitate them, follow their path. No, it's not the thing. We have to follow these 12 Mahajanas, how they led. Bhishma, for example, he had a very nice life. And how Bhishma spent, what are the things, how he did the activities. That is our very, 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 very much required. So Mahajanas are the one who set examples for others to follow. So they are Mahajanas. There are the 12 Mahajanas. So I told who are the 12 Mahajanas, and it is for us to follow their path and achieve liberation, because all these people, they're all devotees of the Lord and they were able to achieve liberation. So we also have to follow in that path so that we can reach Krishna. So they are the 12 main Mahajanas. Hare Krishna. Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapilo, Manu, Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, Balir, Vaisakhi, Yamaha. So these are the 12 people. Hare Krishna. Any other question?
There are no more questions in the chat. So if anyone has any questions, they can just unmute themselves and ask, or else the group is also there. So you all can post it in the group so that we can answer it.
And thank you. Thanks a lot. And for my conclusion is today's class. And also you'll be seeing a different speaker tomorrow with a beautiful voice and nice explanation. So I thank Amapati Prabhu and his wife Lakshmi Mataji, Mahalakshmi Mataji, for arranging and giving us an opportunity to say about this beautiful past and beautiful narration and about Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 text, especially the 9th one, 8th and 7th. These are 3 chapters. We got an opportunity. Thanks a lot. And also I thank lastly Karthik Prabhu. Even though he was working, he was able to guide us in arranging the slides. Thank you all, wonderful devotees. Please keep chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This mantra itself will revive everything. Very honestly, in the morning, please keep chanting Hare Krishna mantra. And with this mantra, we can do wonders, I'll tell you. Hare Krishna, Hare Om Tat Sat. I'll see you later when the temple reopens. So hopefully very soon I'll be able to see you all. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hare Om Tat Sat. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurudev ki jai. Srimad Grantha Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Gaur Sinath Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your wonderful time and for your class. It was really awesome. And we get many more comments on WhatsApp also. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Srimati Mataji. It has been really wonderful time. And of course, you people have been doing a very great job. Since morning, you all been engaged in sending messages, making sure that it happens on time. But unfortunately, because this sloka is so, especially these chapters are so nice, so we actually don't get enough time to explain about that. We are not able to do justice for that. But anyway, with a little time, whatever we had, try to explain. Probably there might be a lot of flaws in it. Please excuse me, please forgive me, so that I don't do this mistake next time. Thank you. Hare Krishna Mataji. Wonderful evening. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Hare Krishna to all. Have a nice time. Hare Krishna. We'll see you all tomorrow at the 8 p.m. Okay? Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.